could cost you financially. Visit les.com for a complete fence and landscaping installation guide.
Are you looking to upgrade or improve the garage door on your home? This is Cameron Hall of Doors Plus. At Doors Plus, we guarantee to offer a wide selection of options from 5 leading garage door manufacturers as we deliver a free estimate, exact measurements, and rapid installation with a 3 to 5 week time frame. When you choose Doors Plus for your residential garage door needs, you'll work with our experienced technicians and be ensured that your new door seamlessly complements your home. Give us a call at 402-590-5800 or visit us online at doorsplusllc.com. Doors Plus, garage doors and more.
At Fairway Meat Market, you're family, and as part of the family, they want to save you money on your meat and groceries. Fairway has fresh cut meats, seafood, cheese, wine, and spirits, and a friendly staff that's always ready to help you find what you need. Stop by Fairway Meat Market today to plan your weekly meals in the Rockledge Square Shopping Center, just south of 84th and Van Dorn.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Infrastructure, a veteran-owned local company proudly serving Lincoln, Lancaster County, and the surrounding areas. Bauer provides quality work at an affordable price, and they're growing rapidly. If you want to experience a career with a fast-paced, family-friendly environment, visit BauerInfrastructure.com. They have top-of-the-line benefits, year-round work, even through the winter. Bauer, usher in the new era of infrastructure to an area near you. And as always, go Big Red.
At Farm Bureau Financial Services, we strive to provide you with the right coverages for all your insurance needs by taking the time to meet with you and review what coverages best fit your needs. So whether you're in the market for home, auto, farm, business, life, or a combination of any of these coverages, we can help with making sure you, your family, or your business have the right coverage based on your individual needs. If you would like to review your insurance needs, please contact Ben Spurt with Farm Bureau Financial Services at 402-217-9945 or through email at ben.spurt@fbfs.com.
Ticket listeners know a dream team when they see one. At Applied Connective, we've been in the game for 20 years and have developed a team of world-class leaders in all things IT. From cybersecurity and Microsoft products to physical security, audio-video, infrastructure, business phone systems, and anything in between. We'll help you leverage technology to become your most secure, efficient, and profitable. Head to our website to check out real reviews and testimonials and sign up for a free tech consultation. We can show you where you might be vulnerable, inefficient, or overspending. It's a game changer, and it's totally free. Claim yours right now at appliedconnective.com.
Muchachos has been serving Lincoln delicious pork, brisket, and chicken tacos for several years now, as well as Hatch Mac nachos and more. Muchachos also brings you close to the taste buds of your favorite local college athletes with NIL deals like the B3 burrito for Bella Bacon of Nebraska softball and many more. See a variety of different NIL options at Muchachos at 11th and K or order online at yomuchacho.com. Open 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. Tuesday through Saturday.
Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program. Hope is only a conversation away when you choose to share your talent, time, and heart with a child. Together, you can build a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future, 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
At Valentino's, we're on a mission for tradition. On every slice, for every bite. Golden baked crust, cooked to perfection every time. Savory sweet sauce that's made from our own secret recipe. Loaded with the perfect amount of fresh toppings and melty mozzarella cheese. It's the tradition that Nebraskans have come to love. From game day to every day. Valentino's. Taste the tradition.
With UBT, you've got total control over your money. Like Doug, who runs his game day tailgate like a well-oiled machine.
I got burgers, brats, chicken, dogs, plus all the fixins. And with the UBT Go app, I can track my food spending from anywhere.
Pro move.
They don't call me Grill Sergeant for nothing.
No matter your goals, UBT helps you feel good about reaching them. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
live from the heart of Lincoln, America. Welcome to Ticket Weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome in everybody to Ticket Weeknights, and they're putting me on the ones and twos tonight. We'll see how that one goes tonight. Austin, how's it feel being on the other side of the room?
Honestly, it's a little strange. This is not something I get to experience very much at all. It's not the first time it's happened, but I came up in the radio business and still consider myself a producer at heart. I don't mind sitting over here without control. I'm not that much of a control freak in my day-to-day life, but it is occasionally, well, I mean, it's on the daily, it's nice to be in control of the buttons, to feel like I'm running the ship and steering the ship. Gives me something else to occupy my mind with sometimes, just make sure I'm staying focused and staying on task. So if I'm wondering if I'm floating, it's because I'm over here with all this newfound freedom.
I know.
But you know what? I'm gonna do the best I can.
Well, I appreciate you letting me take the reins tonight, getting a chance to learn a little bit more. As you know, I've produced before, but never in here, so it's a good chance to learn, and I really appreciate it. As we're gonna figure out stuff to fill the next couple hours. So yeah, I think kind of to start off, WNBA All-Star full rosters got announced yesterday, and a lot of people have some thoughts. A lot of people aren't a fan of some of the things that have happened, some of the people that were picked, some of the people that weren't picked. Austin, kind of what are your thoughts at this point of the rosters?
I would tell you that the headliners make a lot of sense, right? That's kind of a who's who that even if you're a kind of casual fringe WNBA fan, you're going to know a lot of those names, right? And I think that makes a lot of sense. In terms of some of the other names there on the list, pretty excited to see Kelsey Mitchell in there. I think that was a good one. Kelsey Plum, obviously, as well. Angel Reese, I think, is more of a... I don't love how she gets her numbers. I'm less sold on that one. I think I would say Gabby Williams, really good player. Jackie Young, really good player. So I don't know enough about who got snubbed or who got left off for other people. It's interesting seeing a couple rookies in there. Sonia Citrone and Kiki Iriafen, both as rookies, are pretty interesting to see in there. Good for them, right? That's a big deal for them starting their career off on such a great note.
Yeah, I completely agree. I love the rosters. I think Paige Becker's getting first, or I guess starting All-Star was a little surprising with how little she's played. She's been injured a lot, but I think that when
she's been so good when she does play, though.
Exactly. I mean, that's what I was going to say. When she's gotten on the court, she's been lights out. And I mean, I think being the only rookie on the All-Star starting list, she is the very early favorite to win Rookie of the Year.
Well, and people forget that Paige Beckers was supposed to be Caitlin Clark before Caitlin Clark.
Yeah.
Like Paige was the story coming into college basketball. And, credit to Caitlin Clark for taking advantage of that and making her own name the way that she did at Iowa. But people forget just how good Paige Beckers was in high school, how that was really supposed to be her role as that next face of women's college basketball and then into the WNBA, especially with the UConn hype machine behind her.
So a little bit of a side story. I just think this is hilarious. When I was I think a sophomore, junior in high school, my dad for Christmas got me a subscription to Sports Illustrated for a year. And one of the covers was the top male and female athlete from coming out of high school of all sports, right? The top female athlete was Paige Beckers, and obviously she has made her name huge and, is now probably going to be Rookie of the Year. I mean, she's amazing. Want to take a guess at who the top male athlete was that year?
What year are we talking here?
That was the same year that Beckers was going into college. So I think that was 2020, 2019. Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Ooh. Anthony Edwards?
Mm-mm.
Who we got?
Eric Gilbert, tight end of Georgia, LSU, and Nebraska infamy.
Huh. How about that?
It's crazy to look at that cover and think how different these two people's careers ended up going.
That's wild.
But yeah, that was pretty stunning. But yeah, I like the rosters. Some people are upset about Natasha Cloud not making it. I'm really not too upset.
Who would they have kicked off?
See, and that's the big thing for me too, is because I feel like whenever you are making an argument of, oh, this person should have been an all-star, you have to say this is who we're gonna remove.
It's a zero-sum game.
Like,
if someone's on, someone's off. That's how this goes.
And it's like maybe Kayla Thornton out of the Valkyries, but Natasha Cloud, like, she's been good with blocks and assists this year, but pretty much every other number she's like 44th in the league. So I mean, like, she's good, don't get me wrong, but all-star numbers, I mean, she's not in the top 25 in a lot of stuff. I just, it doesn't upset me that much. And that's the thing, is most of the people that are saying, oh, Natasha Cloud should have made it, aren't saying who she would have replaced. So it's like, that's not how this works. Like, you have to flip someone if you're going to make an argument towards that.
That's really the thing that people, I think, forget, is that it's not just, oh, my favorite player should have been there. They're having an all-star caliber year.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the difference between sports like basketball. I think football in the NFL especially is in its own conversation, where you can be named Pro Bowler, but then, oh, you opt out, or, oh, you're playing in the Super Bowl, you're not going to go, whatever it is, because it's that week in between. You're right before the Super Bowl, of course. So there's just so many Pro Bowl alternates. I don't take Pro Bowl nods all that seriously anymore. NBA All-Star a little bit more here and there. But again, I think that basketball has the best case for this conversation about who got snubbed. Did they actually truly deserve to be in? Because baseball, of course, you get the pity All-Star all the time, right? I mean, as a Royals fan, I have seen plenty of those in my day. Luckily, not that many anymore. And then you look at, like the Pirates, like the Rockies, teams like that. So you can't just make everyone an all-star.
Yeah.
And Nick and I talked a little bit about that on Baseball Corner, so I'll spare you more of my full thoughts, because you heard him a couple hours ago.
No, yeah, exactly. That's totally fair. Like, you can't give out these pity all-stars like that. And I will say one thing that I think is really cool with the WNBA All-Star game this year is how they're doing it is they have 2 all-star captains. So it's Caitlin Clark and Nafisa Collier, and then 8 first teams, and then 12 reserves. And they're doing a draft. So I believe it's the player that ended up with the most votes gets the first pick. But they'll have a draft show tomorrow where they get to pick their players for their team. Because I thought it was going to be East-West, and last year it was different because they ended up doing All-Star versus Team USA with the Olympics. But how do you feel about this way that they're doing the NBA or the WNBA All-Star game this year?
I think it makes sense because the NBA's gone that kind of route to the drafting style, but the NBA showed you the positives and the negatives of it, right, and just how quickly they went away from it. So welcome to the party, WNBA. You made it. How long will they be here? Probably longer than the NBA, because of course this year it was most of the inside the NBA crew picking the teams more so than the players themselves. And I kind of preferred when it was the players, honestly. But I don't hate the all-star format, what they changed it into. They're grasping at straws in the NBA. So, I mean, it makes sense that the WNBA went to a draft. But as we've seen, that's a league that can get kind of catty. That can get rather petty. I mean, they can go 0 to 100 real quick. I really hope we get some good drama that comes out of it.
Well, that was something Ellie and I talked about yesterday, is like, how are you going to see personal relationships affect this? For example, could you see Nafisa Collier reach on a player like Courtney Williams because they're on the same team? And conversely, could you see someone like Caitlin Clark pass up on Angel Reese because there's been that drama? Mm-hmm. So it's going to be super, super interesting to see. But I talked about this with you before as we prep for this. One thing that I thought would be really fun to do, the remainder of this segment, and definitely will seep in the next segment, is kind of do a mock draft for this WNBA All-Star game. Austin and I will each take a captain, and then we'll go back and forth. I mean, you guys know how mock drafts work. So Austin, since you are not producing, I'll deem you the visiting team. Do you wanna pick your captain and have the first pick of the reserves first, or do you want to have the first overall pick first?
I think that since I'm the guest on the show, the polite thing to do would be give me the first pick each time. But apparently we're not doing that.
We can do that.
I will pick my captain and have the first pick of the reserves. Purely out of spite, purely out of what could have been and what should have been. I am taking Paige Beckers. I like Paige Beckers a lot more than Caitlin Clark. I understand that Caitlin Clark is the more accomplished player and certainly better to this point in their respective careers. But I also want to be able to show my face in front of my family and friends. And if I picked Caitlin Clark, that would not be a way to do that. So Paige Beckers, you're on my team.
Who are you taking for your captain?
I thought Paige was the captain.
No, like, are you taking, because Caitlin Clark and Nafisa Collier are the captains?
Oh, shoot. Well, in that case, I got to take Collier.
Oh, dang. I was really hoping you wouldn't take her. But yeah, you know what? Yeah, you're right. You're the guest on the show. I'll let you take.
Well, you get Caitlin Clark. There's your first pick. So my first real pick then is Paige Beckers.
Okay, so Caitlin Clark will be my captain. And then for my first pick, I'm going to go Asia Wilson. She has been way too under the radar this year. I think that she is really carrying this roster for the Vegas, not the Vegas Thrill. That's volleyball. The Las Vegas Aces this year. I really like her, so I'm gonna go Caitlin or Asia Wilson in my 2 spot. Austin, you are on the clock.
Won't take long. Brianna Stewart. I will take the legacy pick here. She's still balling. A lot of KD comparisons, I think, for what they're doing in their respective leagues. I will take a tall bucket getter for my squad.
This is very, very valid. Brianna Stewart, I mean, she's just like that. She's been like that the entire time she has been in the league. I like what she's doing. For my 3 spot, I think I'm gonna go Satu Sabali. She has really, really helped in this complete revamping of the Phoenix Mercury this year. With the losing of Cunningham, Griner, and Taurasi. She's really stepped up. I like what she's doing. So yeah, I'm gonna go Satu Sabali there.
I will take another one of the players that I've watched quite a bit of throughout their careers. I got to take Sabrina Ionescu. I really do. I'm a big fan of the way she plays. Again, that's another kind of proto Caitlin Clark. I know they were in college, overlapped a little bit there at the same time, but I am a fan of Sabrina Ionescu, how she plays basketball. So I will take her, and I have a pretty guard-heavy team right now, but we can still change that.
Well, and like I just love Sabrina, especially because like Oregon is not traditionally like a powerhouse women's basketball school, like at all. I mean, obviously you have Asia Wilson out of South Carolina, you got Beckers out of UConn, but like Oregon, like they're not that great, and she's become one of the best players in the WNBA. Won a championship last year. I love what she's doing. I'm between 2 players right now for my 4 spot. I think I'm gonna go Aaliyah Boston. I think I need a bigger box out player on my team to kind of help round this out. She has taken a huge step up this year with the Indiana Fever. She's really, really helped on that offensive front. I'm gonna go with Aaliyah Boston, another South Carolina product on this team, and we got 2 Fever players here. Noticing a pattern. So Austin, you a
Fever fan or something?
I would call them my second favorite team. LA Sparks are definitely my favorite team.
Oh, but, bandwagon.
What do you mean? They're 6-13. What do you mean bandwagon?
It's LA. They have all the name recognition. You're bandwagon.
I picked them because they are the closest team to my family, as well as drafting Sarah Ashley Barker out of Bama. I love her. But there's not a ton of Sparks players on this roster. But
whatever helps you sleep at night.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that much.
Do you have a team, Austin?
I do not have a team.
Okay. Well, I can't even combat that because you don't have a team. So all right.
So this is the game, Jeffrey. This is how you play the game, right? You set people up to take them where you want them to go, and you cover yourself, protect your own butt while you're at it.
You know what?
I'm taking Nneka Ogwumike, by the way. I think she is an incredible player. Obviously, you're 13 in the league, double-digit time All-Star, top 10. I think just moved into 7th or 8th place. I think all time in WNBA scoring. This is a no-brainer pick for me and the way my roster is currently constructed.
Yeah, that's totally fair. So last spot for me ends up with Alicia Gray. Obviously an incredible player for Atlanta. Kind of felt like she was going to be the last pick. Absolutely no disrespect to her. Obviously, she has solidified herself as a top 10 player in the league, but it kind of feels like she is that number 10. So I'm liking what I'm seeing so far, but I have to say, I really like your roster, Austin. It's looking really solid. When we come back, we will go to our bench players after this quick break. Don't go anywhere, folks. You are listening to the Ticket Weeknights with Austin Orman and Jeffrey Calhoun.
New John Deere planter from Landmark Implement during the early order program.
Plan for success with the latest technology, including Exact Emerge high-speed planters that help you cover more acres with greater precision and productivity. Order your planter for next year now to unlock the biggest savings of the season. Contact your local Landmark location today and experience the Landmark difference.
Take control of your health with the DASH scan at Advanced Medical Imaging. The DASH scan is a full-body MRI designed for advanced health screening. This dynamic approach provides exceptionally sharp images across multiple organ systems, helping to detect potential concerns early. With minimal radiation and no invasive procedures, the DASH scan offers a safe, comprehensive look at your health. Plus, results are delivered faster than ever, giving both patients and physicians confidence in screening and diagnosis. Your health is too important to wait. Schedule your DASH scan today at Advanced Medical Imaging. Visit amimaging.com or call 402-484-6677 to learn more.
Have you been injured in an accident and don't know where to turn? You need an attorney you can trust to handle your case with professionalism and compassion. The attorneys at Liberty Law Group understand that a call to an attorney is a call for help. If you've been injured, we want to help you. Liberty Law's experienced attorneys are committed to the pursuit of justice for those injured. Call Liberty Law Group and find out how we can help get you the compensation you deserve. Call 877-42-LIBERTY. 877-42-LIBERTY. Liberty Law Group. Trial attorneys you can trust.
Safety is always at the top of mind at Lincoln Electric System. The safety of our employees and the safety of our customers. It's National Safety Month. Visit les.com/safety for tips on all things related to electrical safety. If you're working in your yard, remember never to place landscaping, structures, and fences too close to above-ground electrical equipment. It's unsafe and could cost you financially. Visit les.com for a complete fence and landscaping installation guide.
Are you looking to upgrade or improve the garage door on your home? This is Cameron Hall of Doors Plus. At Doors Plus, we guarantee to offer a wide selection of options from 5 leading garage door manufacturers as we deliver a free estimate, exact measurements, and rapid installation with a 3 to 5 week time frame. When you choose Doors Plus for your residential garage door needs, you'll work with our experienced technicians and be ensured that your new door seamlessly complements your home. Give us a call at 402-590-5800 or visit us online at DoorsPlusLLC.com. Doors Plus, garage doors, and more.
At Fairway Meat Market, you're family, and as part of the family, they want to save you money on your meat and groceries. Fairway has fresh cut meats, seafood, cheese, wine, and spirits, and a friendly staff that's always ready to help you find what you need. Stop by Fairway Meat Market today to plan your weekly meals in the Rockledge Square Shopping Center, just south of 84th and Van Dorn.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Infrastructure, a veteran-owned local company proudly serving Lincoln, Lancaster County, and the surrounding areas. Bauer provides quality work at an affordable price, and they're growing rapidly. If you want to experience a career with a fast-paced, family-friendly environment, visit BauerInfrastructure.com. They have top-of-the-line benefits, year-round work, even through the winter. Bauer, usher in the new era of infrastructure to an area near you. And as always, go Big Red.
At Farm Bureau Financial Services, we strive to provide you with the right coverages for all your insurance needs by taking the time to meet with you and review what coverages best fit your needs. So whether you're in the market for home, auto, farm, business, life, or a combination of any of these coverages, we can help with making sure you, your family, or your business have the right coverage based on your individual needs. If you would like to review your insurance needs, please contact Ben Spurt with Farm Bureau Financial Services at 402-217-9945 or through email at ben.spurt@fbfs.com.
Ticket listeners know a dream team when they see one. At Applied Connective, we've been in the game for 20 years and have developed a team of world-class leaders in all things IT. From cybersecurity and Microsoft products to physical security, audio, video, infrastructure, business phone systems, and anything in between. We'll help you leverage technology to become your most secure, efficient, and profitable. Head to our website to check out real reviews and testimonials and sign up for a free tech consultation. We can show you where you might be vulnerable, inefficient, or overspending. It's a game changer, and it's totally free. Claim yours right now at appliedconnective.com.
Muchachos has been serving Lincoln delicious pork, brisket, and chicken tacos for several years now, as well as hatchback, nachos, and more. Muchachos also brings you close to the taste buds of your favorite local college athletes with NIL deals like the B3 burrito for Bella Bacon of Nebraska softball and many more. See a variety of different NIL options at Muchachos at 11th and K, or order online at yomuchacho.com. Open 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. Tuesday through Saturday.
Back to the Ticket weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Adam Carricker boom noise. How we feeling, Austin? Boom!
Throw the bone.
Throw the bone. I can't listen to this rejoin track without thinking about that, honestly. Just every time. And Ellie did it the first week we were on air, and it like kind of startled me. I was like, oh, okay, we're yelling like Carricker. But you know what? It's fun. It's always fun. So yeah. If you're just joining us, we are doing a just kind of mock draft of the WNBA All-Star game. Went through the our first round, which was the starters. Austin ended up with Nafisa Collier, Paige Beckers, Brianna Stewart, Sabrina Ionescu, Nneka Agumike. I definitely butchered that name. Oops. Yeah, and then I ended up with Caitlin Clark, Asia Wilson, Satu Sabali, Aaliyah Boston, and Alicia Gray. And we will move on to our bench players now. And Austin, you are on the clock.
Yeah, I got plenty of directions I can take this pick. Like I said, I got some guards in the first round, plenty of ball handling. So I think I need a little bit more height, a little bit more size. And so because of that, I think I am going to end up going with another veteran here. If I'm scrolling through my options, make sure I'm not missing anyone. Actually, you know what? Yeah, I got to do it. I think I got to do it. Alyssa Thomas from the Phoenix Mercury. I think I got to take her in her 6th All-Star game appearance.
Yeah, she's another player that's really helped out Satu Sabali this year in Phoenix. They've done very, very well this season. And yeah, AT has just been a staple player. I like what she's doing. My next pick, it may be a little bit of a reach, but I think it's a player that, while maybe having a quote-unquote down season for her standards, is still absolutely balling out. She is an absolute anchor player and one of the most important players on her team. I'm going to go with Miss Courtney Williams out of Minnesota. She's been a little overshadowed because of what Nafisa Collier has been doing, but she is a player that I still think can absolutely turn around a game and really make it her own. So give me Courtney Williams bringing up that first spot in the reserves.
You said anchor player.
Mm-hmm.
That to me implies she's dragging the team down.
That's fair. I feel like anchor player.
I'm gonna be completely honest.
I feel like anchor player in my mind is like keeps the team kind of stable and grounded.
Are you thinking cornerstone?
That's probably what I'm thinking.
Bedrock player.
Yeah, that's a way better term. But I knew what I was trying to say.
It just made me laugh. I'm not going to lie.
You know what? I like Courtney Williams. That's the point I'm trying to make. I think she does a lot of impact that goes unseen sometimes. But yeah, Courtney Williams, I like her a lot. That's the point I'm trying to make here. So, Austin, back on the clock. Who are you taking?
I appreciate the timeout so I could make that point. I'm going to go with an all-star veteran, not one that's played in the most remaining all-star games, but certainly a well-known player, Kelsey Plum from the Los Angeles Sparks. Got a burner. She can shoot it. And I know it's going to piss off my opponent drafting. So the fact that you went for your reach for your first pick left the door wide open for me to take Kelsey Plum as one of my reserves.
I was going to say, would you have taken her if you didn't know that I was a Sparks fan?
I'm not going to lie. That was a big consideration.
You know what? I could support doing it out of pure spite. And honestly, my next pick was going to be Kelsey. It was just a matter of which Kelsey it was going to be. I was debating between Kelsey Plum and Kelsey Mitchell. And so I'm going to go Kelsey Mitchell. I think that she has really come up as a strong offensive threat this season. And I mean, again, I love what she is doing. She's really helped out that new and improved Fever team. And that actually gives me every Fever player that is on the All-Star roster. My roster is compiled of almost all Fever players, or half of it is Fever players now. So, I like what they're doing, and I like offensive power. I think that's what I'm getting at. And the Fever have just been an offensive powerhouse this season.
Jeffrey's All-Star team, catch the Fever. Yep. Wait, something like that. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Kelsey Mitchell to match Austin's Kelsey Plum. And
you are back on the clock.
Yeah, I will go back to the UConn. Well, I'll take Gabby Williams from the Seattle Storm, having another nice year in her 6th year. First All-Star appearance in her 6th year. She's been solid, but finally has broken through onto that stage. Good for Gabby Williams. I like that addition for my team.
Well, and Gabby Williams, like the Seattle Storm this year have been one of the sneakiest best teams this season. I mean, they have, they were the first team to knock off Minnesota. They really kind of pummeled the Liberty in New York. And yeah, I mean, they only have 2 players on the All-Star roster. Like, this is a very silently good team. And Gabby Williams obviously has been a huge part of that. I like what she's doing. Great pick. For me, after that, I'm going to go with Ryan Howard. She has been a major, major threat from deep. And that Atlanta team is what I like to say. Ellie and I talked about it yesterday. Atlanta is almost a boring good team. They're in the top 5. They're going to make the playoffs. They're probably going to host one. And, they just kind of silently win games. They're actually playing right now. And we're going back and forth with the Valkyries the entire game. And then they ripped off a 15-0 run and are probably going to walk out of here with this win, barring they, choke away an 8-point lead with 20 seconds left. But back to Ryan Howard. She has been incredible from 3. I believe against my Sparks, she went like 8 for 14 from beyond the arc. Didn't make me happy, but I know she is going to help round out this team. So yeah, give me Ryan Howard here.
Yeah, I think I gotta infuse some youth here onto my team. Another first time appearance player. I'm gonna add it in the front court. Kiki Ariafen, right? USC, not just Juju Watkins. Who would have believed it? Kiki, an incredible player in her own right for the Trojans last year. Off to a pretty darn good start for the Washington Mystics. So I will take Kiki Ariafen for my bench.
I love what she's doing. She's another player that I think really could win Rookie of the Year. While obviously, like, I feel like Becker's kind of ebbs and flows more. Part of it has been injuries. Ariafen has been one of the most consistent rookies this season.
The real thing is that it's going to come down to the narrative, right? She has to be, I think, so much better than Paige Beckers. I think Beckers has run away with a lot of those headlines and just has some of that, that name recognition already. So it's not a knock against Kiki by any stretch of the imagination, but we see this in Rookie of the Year races all the time, right? It's about the first impression. It's about the consistency, but it's also about the narrative, right? In voting in sports, for as unfortunate as you might think that is, it's just the fact. So I think it's going to be a long road for her to have to walk to pass Paige Beckers. Not saying it's impossible, not undoable. I'm just not sure I would take that bet right now.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think that's fair. And especially like with these all-star votings being so heavily influenced by fan voting, like that's what you're going to see. I mean, everybody knows who Paige Beckers is. Not everyone knows who Kiki Ariafen is. And part of that is because, I mean, she wasn't even the star player at USC. And what she's doing with the Mystics now is absolutely insane. But yeah, I think she's the second best rookie this year, potentially could vault herself to number 1. I will not be taking the last rookie on the board just yet. We'll see how I feel with the last 2 picks, but I'm going to go Skylar Diggins. She has been another very, very strong player. I like what she's doing and just kind of silently becoming one of the strongest players this year. So yeah, I'm going to go Diggins here in my 9-hole.
I have already talked about the next players I'm going to take, and it means I'm going to have to swallow my pride, but I have to do it for a great reason. I need some antagonism. I need some drama. I need some instigation here. And I don't care if it's an all-star game. In fact, because it's an all-star game, I think I am even more obligated to make this pick. If we want our all-star games to be spicy, if we want them to be interesting again, we need more blood feuds, plain and simple. So you know what? I don't appreciate her game. I don't like how she plays. Her older brother pisses me off, the way he made a Perry Ellis career at Maryland. But gosh darn it if I don't need Angel Reese on my team for the memes.
Oh my gosh. You know what? This is so fair. This is so fair. I love it. You have now officially pitted Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark against each other.
And I don't feel bad about it.
No, and you shouldn't.
Not in the slightest.
You shouldn't at all. Like, I love that. Also, Angel Reese and Paige Beckers on the same team, like against Caitlin Clark. I love that. I love the memes. I think it's a fun pick.
Oh, it's not a fun pick. It's a pick that means war.
Oh, well, okay. Fun for the viewers. If this is how it ends up, fun for the viewers. But yes, it totally means war. But it's going to be interesting. Coming down to these last 3 picks, It's pretty close. I like all three of these players a lot. But I'm going to go with someone who people weren't as happy about making the All-Star roster, but someone that I think deserves it. I'm going to go with Kayla Thornton. I think she is a very strong game changer and is the only undrafted player to make the All-Star roster. I like that level of scrappiness. I like that level of resilience, making it from being undrafted to an expansion team that is now in the playoff picture and then becoming an All-Star. Give me Kayla Thornton in my second to last spot.
All right. Well, I need you to have a rookie on your team to make a rookie mistake and probably give my team the win in her minutes. So I will go with the veteran, experienced all-star regular Jackie Young in my final spot. Kind of surprised she lasted this long in the draft, but I think based on our team composition, it makes sense at the end of the day. So you will also get a rookie. I'm not letting you off the hook that easily, but I think it's a very, very high value pick getting Jackie Young this late in the draft.
Oh, totally fair. I love Jackie Young, but frankly, I was going to take Sanaya Citron if I had the option. Young has been great, but I think this year has been a bit of a down year. Maybe it's not. I don't think it's necessarily her fault. Vegas is in complete disarray right now, just plain and simple.
Pretty typical for that city.
True, but not as typical for that team. 3-time MVP on that team. I believe they've won the WNBA twice in the last 5 years, if I have that number correct. And they're a team that may not make the playoffs. Asia Wilson, I think the reason that she's not as high on the MVP voting is because of how in disarray that team is. But yeah, they're reeling a little bit. But I think Jackie Young is much better than what is shown this year. So I think that's a very high value pick.
She's scoring more than her career average so far, but shooting about 6% worse from three. Mm-hmm. So this is also a rebound pick. I don't think she just forgot how to shoot.
No, totally.
If
totally
I had to
fair.
guess.
Totally. I mean, yeah, she's one of the best. Like, she is one of the best players in the league. And I mean, even this year in a quote unquote down year, she's still top 22. So I like the way these rosters are compiled. So when it's all said and done, Austin, you end up with Nafisa Collier, Paige Beckers, Brianna Stewart, Sabrina Ionescu, Nika Ugumike. I always butcher that name. Alyssa Thomas, Kelsey Plum, still mad, Gabby Williams, Kiki Urafen, Angel Reese, and Jackie Young. And then I got Caitlin Clark, Asia Wilson, Satu Sabali, Aaliyah Boston, Alicia Gray, Courtney Williams, Kelsey Mitchell, Ryan Howard, Skylar Diggins, Kayla Thornton, and I guess Mrs. Irrelevant in the All-Star draft, Sanaya Citron.
Here's what's going to happen in this game. Mm-hmm. I hope you're ready for this. Your team is going to dominate the post. I don't have much going for me in the front court, right? And I understand that. But the All-Star game is not for post-ups. It's not for entry passes. It's not for taking rebounding seriously. It's for guards. It's for ball handling. It's putting the handles on display, and it's for bombing away. Yeah. Sure, maybe you have the bomber in Caitlin Clark, and sure, Ryan Howard could get hot. But between Nafisa Collier, Paige Beckers, Brianna Stewart, Sabrina, and Nneka Ogumike, just in my starting lineup, there's buckets. Kelsey Plum is going to put on a show in front of you just to prove I made the right pick. Angel Reese might even make a layup. She might even make a layup.
Does she make it on her first? Does she make it on her first try though?
Oh, come on! Don't be ridiculous. But she might make one. And really, that's really all I care about is, can I get the Angel Reese spite layup? Can Kelsey Plum make some ridiculous 3-point celebration in your face as she's jogging back down the court? Absolutely. So I think my team wins in a blowout. We're just not going to miss.
In a blowout, wow! That's
you got to win in a bar fight. I can win multiple ways.
That's fair. I mean, I don't know though. I mean, obviously, yes, I have Caitlin Clark, but then Asia Wilson. I mean, man, she can get hot, and then right. I feel like I'm a huge threat behind those threes. I mean, Wilson, Clark, Mitchell, Boston.
Asia's not a shooter. She can, but that's not her game.
Well, I feel like Asia Wilson can do anything. She's like that. And then if she gets up in the post, I mean, she's gonna get blocks. I know you said that it's not about post play.
Asia Wilson is a 23% 3-point shooter this year. Her career average is 33%.
33 is still solid.
No, it is not. No, it is not.
From beyond.
No,
beyond the
no, Jeffrey. 33% is she makes enough to break even. That's fair. 33% from three is the same as 50% from two. 33% is not good. It is barely passable. Asia Wilson is not a shooter.
Okay.
Advantage me because math.
Because you know what? I support math. We'll have to see. We'll have to see how accurate these rosters are. We'll find that out more tomorrow when these picks hopefully come to fruition. I think it'd be really fun if we ended up with the same teams. Is that going to happen? No. But
if it is, you heard it here first.
Yeah, exactly. If it is, you heard it here first. So when we come back, we'll wrap this up. Talk a little bit of college football 26, and yeah, we got a lot going on. Don't go anywhere, folks. You are listening to The Ticket Weeknight with Jeffrey Calhoun and Austin Orman.
Wall to wall.
Brighter future, 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
At Valentino's, we're on a mission for tradition. On every slice, for every bite. Golden baked crust, cooked to perfection every time. Savory sweet sauce that's made from our own secret recipe. Loaded with the perfect amount of fresh toppings and melty mozzarella cheese. It's the tradition that Nebraskans have come to love. From game day to every day. Valentino's. Taste the tradition.
With UBT, you've got total control over your money. Like Doug, who runs his game day tailgate like a well-oiled machine.
I got burgers, brats, chicken, dogs, plus all the fixins. And with the UBT Go app, I can track my food spending from anywhere.
Pro move.
They don't call me Grill Sergeant for nothing.
No matter your goals, UBT helps you feel good about reaching them. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits is your place in North Lincoln to go for all your needs in wine, spirits, and beer. They also have a large variety of cigars in their walk-in humidor, and they have a top-notch walk-in temperature-controlled high-end wine room. Plus, you can enjoy free samples from their tasting bar. There's only one place to go for all your needs for spirits and cigars. That's Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits on North 27th Street in Lincoln.
Life changes, and sometimes that means changing where you call home. Whether you're downsizing, growing your family, relocating, or facing tough times, you shouldn't navigate it alone. I'm Laura Bonta-Bush with Woods Rose Realty, and I'm here to guide you with all your real estate needs. As wife of football coach Bill Bush, I understand the importance of teamwork and making sure you are supported every step of the way with honesty, integrity, and compassion. If you're looking for a game plan to buy or sell your home, text the word HOME to 402-534-1919. That's HOME to 402-534-1919.
Staying healthy and comfortable starts with the air you breathe. If you're noticing more dust, odors, or allergies, it could be time for duct cleaning from Bryant. Pure Air starts with cleaner air ducts. Pair with enhanced filtration and purifications options, and the difference is amazing. When the air you breathe is clean and fresh, your home smells fresher, and your family is healthier. Time for cleaner air in your home? Call Bryant for a free estimate. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. 467-1111. Bryant, whatever it takes.
Lincoln's new craft cocktail lounge is Bar 48 in Lincoln. Located at 2639 North 48th Street, Bar 48 offers everything from cocktails to beer to wine and so much more. With summer right around the corner, you can always enjoy Bar 48's frozen beverages. Follow them on Facebook to stay up to date on their live music performances every Saturday night. Make plans to visit Bar 48 on North 48th Street in the heart of the University Place neighborhood today.
A1 Automotive's second location is now open at 5110 State Hill Drive, just off of Yankee Hill Road. The new location continues to specialize in all makes and models and provides personalized service as they have for 15 years. To honor the new store opening, A1 is offering $25 off any service over $300, $50 off services over $500, and $75 off services that total over $750, all through July 31st. Schedule your appointment today at a1autolincoln.com and visit their new location in South Lincoln at 5110 State Hill Drive.
Step into healing at Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery. Our team of top-notch medical professionals turns pain into progress with state-of-the-art treatments and compassionate care. Visit prairieortho.com and discover the difference in quality orthopedic and plastic surgery services tailored to your unique needs. Your health matters, and Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery is dedicated to helping you thrive. Reach your full potential. Embrace a better tomorrow with Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery.
Is it time to replace your home comfort system? Call Bryant and save money in every way. Bryant provides you with solutions that save. Save big immediately with attractive rebates, and save every day with lower operating costs. Most important though, the systems are selected to fit you. The right system, priced right, properly installed. That's the way Bryant works for you. How much can you save? Call Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing for a free estimate. 467-1111. Bryant, whatever it takes.
The weekend is here and you and the boys need a place to hang out after your day on the golf course. Lucky for you, that place exists at Liquid Assets Sports Bar and Grill in South Lincoln. The 19th hole at the course is great, but it doesn't have 30 TVs showing all sports with 23 beers on tap. You can enjoy all of that at Liquid Assets, as well as delicious smash burgers, wings, and much more. Don't end your hangout after the golf round ends. Get to Liquid Assets Sports Bar and Grill at 2755 Jamie Lane.
Back to the Ticket Weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We are back once again. Ticket Weeknights, Jeffrey Calhoun and Austin Orman with this final segment of the first hour. Got a few minutes here to preview what we're going to go into much more in depth. The next segment, College Football 26 releases today. Obviously, College Football 25 was a huge hit, being the first college football game in over a decade, and the sequel has a lot of hype to back it up. Austin, were you much of a player of the 25 game?
I played, I can count on 0 fingers the number of games I played.
Okay, well, I can also count on 0 fingers the number of games I played. I wanted to play. First of all, I've never been much of a gamer. I always grew up, honestly, a Nintendo kid. And so
That's gaming.
I mean, yeah, but
Come on.
First of all, yes, but I feel like if you talk to gamers and then you tell them you played the Wii, you're going to get bullied. But
it's not console gaming, but you still played video games.
Yeah. But I was, Mario Kart and, all that kind of stuff. So always had Nintendo devices. So never really found a reason to buy a PS5 or a Xbox One. And as much as I wanted to play the game, I couldn't reason in my head buying a $500 console just for this one game. And knowing that even though I don't play too many video games, that I would probably play it for a month and then put it down. But the metrics and the analytics and everything that's gone around with this game has been incredibly fascinating to me. Figuring out how they rank teams and players and seeing the ratings on random Nebraska second string long snappers is really cool. But yeah, so the new game comes out today, and there were a couple ratings that had people scratching their heads a little bit. So first of all, they nerfed the teams a lot. The highest rated team in college football 26 this year is Alabama with an 89 overall. Not a single team in the game is 90 or above. I guess at first I wanted to get your opinion on that.
Doesn't actually shock me. Without knowing what the teams were rated last year, I would guess that and Ohio State was up there pretty high. In Oregon, a team like that. But I think if you look at the landscape of college football, there are no doubt contenders.
Right.
Even the ones you think of at the top, you think about a Texas will come to mind, right? But this is Arch Manning's first real starting experience. They lost a lot on the offensive line, a couple playmakers on defense as well. Georgia, quarterback questions, offense questions. Can Kirby Smart get a driving instructor questions for his team, right? You think about Ohio State, lost a quarterback,
right?
Lost running backs. They reload at wide receiver. They bring back probably the best one, but they lose quite a bit there up front on both sides of the ball as well. Penn State's going to Penn State. Clemson, how much do we believe in their bounce back, if you want to call it that? How legit do you think they are? And that's just a handful of the teams at the top. Oregon obviously lost a lot as well. So I guess I'm surprised that they wouldn't do it relative to year, like relative to what we think 2026 is going to look like, that they wouldn't boost them up. But if this is a series that's going to continue to span, annually, or maybe they update it in the future with different years, whatever they decide to do, I do think that it's accurate that we are not going to get a historically great team this year.
Right.
I don't think there's going to be a 2021, 2022 Georgia in this game. I don't think there's a 2019 LSU. I don't think there's a 2011 Alabama, anything like that. So maybe it's weird to look at on its face, but I think it does make sense given how we think college football is going to shake out this year.
I totally agree. And I think, a lot of it too goes into what last year looked like. There was only one team in the country that finished with less than 2 losses, and that was Oregon. And, part of it you could say, oh, it's the 12-team playoff. But even going into the playoff, there are only 2 teams that had less than 2 losses, and it was Boise and Oregon. If this was BCS system, your number 2 team would have been Georgia, a team that lost to Alabama and Ole Miss, 2 non-playoff teams. So I think last year, even the best teams, and it showed in the playoffs, even the best teams weren't quote-unquote elite. We had the first 2-loss national champion since 2007. So the playing field felt much more even. I think the big thing that stuck out to me, though, was, Alabama, 89 overall. But then you look at the clump of 7 teams that are at the 88 overall, that are just up there. And I'm looking at this, and Austin, we're gonna play a little game here called Which Team Does Not Belong. So in the 7 teams,
is it a team that DP and I mentioned during one-on-one?
Maybe. I'm gonna be honest. I was editing back there and doing a lot of clipping.
Tough.
So maybe I feel like this is a team you would have mentioned. So here are the 7 teams and their postseason results. Ohio State, national champion. Notre Dame, national runner-up. Penn State, lost in the semifinals. Texas, lost in the semifinals. Georgia, lost in the quarters, but won the SEC, and going into the playoffs was the number 2 team in the country. Clemson, 12 teams in the playoffs, finished with 4 losses, ACC champion, and returned arguably the best quarterback in the country. Texas A&M, 8-5, lost the Las Vegas Bowl to 6-6 USC. Which one doesn't belong here, Austin?
Ooh, let me really rack my brain for this one. Notre Dame, they're not in a conference.
Oh yes, totally. No, it's
wait. Clemson, they're in the ACC.
True, that's the one. No,
nailed it.
Obviously,
2 for 2.
Texas A&M. Is there a reason that you can see why this team would be put here, or is it just another case of Texas A&M overhyped?
Probably that at the end of the day. I mean, A&M's good. Let's not forget they started last year off really hot. Then it was the late season game against Texas that they couldn't pull it off on. They went on a little bit of a skid. I wouldn't be surprised to see Texas A&M play its way up there. I just wouldn't put them there to begin with, I guess.
Right. And I think part of it is these ratings, I also feel like, are partially based around potential.
Oh, yeah.
And, that's why I think Bama is so high, even though they finished 9-4 last year. I think that's the thing that's frustrating with Texas A&M is they always have good potential. But, like, with these ratings, like, I don't know, I'd put them more like an 85, to put it in perspective. The 85 teams right now, it's Arizona State, Michigan, Indiana, Oklahoma, Ole Miss. Like, I feel like that's a more valid camp, maybe up at the 86 mark. But
I don't think Florida should be that high.
Yeah, Florida.
I think Texas Tech is one of those teams with potential. Lots got to go right for Miami, who was good last year, but Carson Beck is not going to be Cam Ward. Good. LSU, big portal winner. Wait and see. Oregon, I think that's probably about right for them. I'm not completely sold on Arizona State. I think they got a lot of baggage. I'm slightly more sold on Indiana than I am Arizona State.
Really?
Oklahoma's got a I'm not so sure about them. Love the quarterback they got. I'm a big John Mateer guy, but I'm not sold on Oklahoma being quite that high yet.
Oklahoma's weird because in their season,
you could have stopped that sentence right there.
This is true. But in their seasons with Brent Venables, they went 6-7, 11-2, 6-7. So like they can be very, very good, or they can be really, really bad. So, and again, I love John Mateer as well. I mean, I'm a casual Washington State fan. They're just, a team I love to watch. So I watched him a lot last year. I think it's a great pickup. But I think the 85s, honestly, these are the...
Oh, is this your first time seeing a police car pull someone over out these windows?
I think it is.
Hate to throw off your flow, but this is a rite of passage. Ooh, Jeffrey, we did it.
Wow, we did it. Well, yeah. I've definitely seen police cars go by a lot, but never seen one pull someone over right outside this window.
Congratulations. Wow. You saw it.
I feel like I've been baptized into ticket culture now. On that note, we do have to send it to a quick break. But when we come back, we'll delve into these ratings a little bit more, and we will talk about Nebraska specifically. They're ranked pretty high. all things considered. And we'll talk more about that when we come back from the break. You are listening to Ticket Weeknights with Jeffrey Calhoun and Austin Orman.
Now's the best time to lock in early order savings on a new John Deere planter from Landmark Implement during the Early Order Program. Plan for success with the latest technology, including Exact Emerge high-speed planters that help you cover more acres with greater precision and productivity. Order your planter for next year now to unlock the biggest savings of the season. Contact your local Landmark location today and experience the Landmark difference.
Take control of your health with the DASH scan at Advanced Medical Imaging. The DASH scan is a full-body MRI designed for advanced health screening. This dynamic approach provides exceptionally sharp images across multiple organ systems, helping to detect potential concerns early. With minimal radiation and no invasive procedures, the DASH scan offers a safe, comprehensive look at your health. Plus, results are delivered faster than ever, giving both patients and physicians confidence in screening and diagnosis. Your health is too important to wait. Schedule your DASH scan today at Advanced Medical Imaging. Visit amimaging.com or call 402-484-6677 to learn more.
Have you been injured in an accident and don't know where to turn? You need an attorney you can trust to handle your case with professionalism and compassion. The attorneys at Liberty Law Group understand that a call to an attorney is a call for help. If you've been injured, we want to help you. Liberty Law's experienced attorneys are committed to the pursuit of justice for those injured. Call Liberty Law Group and find out how we can help get you the compensation you deserve. Call 877-42-LIBERTY. 877-42-LIBERTY. Liberty Law Group. Trial attorneys you can trust.
Safety is always at the top of mind at Lincoln Electric System. The safety of our employees and the safety of our customers. It's National Safety Month. Visit les.com/safety for tips on all things related to electrical safety. If you're working in your yard, remember never to place landscaping structures and fences too close to above ground electrical equipment. It's unsafe and could cost you financially. Visit les.com for a complete fence and landscaping installation guide.
Are you looking to upgrade or improve the garage door on your home? This is Cameron Hall of Doors Plus. At Doors Plus, we guarantee to offer a wide selection of options from 5 leading garage door manufacturers as we deliver a free estimate, exact measurements, and rapid installation with a 3 to 5 week time frame. When you choose Doors Plus for your residential garage door needs, you'll work with our experienced technicians and be ensured that your new door seamlessly complements your home. Give us a call at 402-590-5800 or visit us online at doorsplusllc.com. Doors Plus, garage doors and more.
At Fairway Meat Market, you're family, and as part of the family, they want to save you money on your meat and groceries. Fairway has fresh cut meats, seafood, cheese, wine, and spirits, and a friendly staff that's always ready to help you find what you need. Stop by Fairway Meat Market today to plan your weekly meals in the Rockledge Square Shopping Center, just south of 84th and Van Dorn.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Infrastructure, a veteran-owned local company proudly serving Lincoln, Lancaster County, and the surrounding areas. Bauer provides quality work at an affordable price, and they're growing rapidly. If you want to experience a career with a fast-paced, family-friendly environment, visit BauerInfrastructure.com. They have top-of-the-line benefits, year-round work, even through the winter. Bauer, usher in the new era of infrastructure to an area near you. And as always, go Big Red.
At Farm Bureau Financial Services, we strive to provide you with the right coverages for all your insurance needs by taking the time to meet with you and review what coverages best fit your needs. So whether you're in the market for home, auto, farm, business, life, or a combination of any of these coverages, we can help with making sure you, your family, or your business have the right coverage based on your individual needs. If you would like to review your insurance needs, please contact Ben Spurt with Farm Bureau Financial Services at 402-217-9945 or through email at ben.spurt@fbfs.com.
Ticket listeners know a dream team when they see one. At Applied Connective, we've been in the game for 20 years and have developed a team of world-class leaders in all things IT. From cybersecurity and Microsoft products to physical security, audio-video, infrastructure, business phone systems, and anything in between. We'll help you leverage technology to become your most secure, efficient, and profitable. Head to our website to check out real reviews and testimonials and sign up for a free tech consultation. We can show you where you might be vulnerable, inefficient, or overspending. It's a game changer, and it's totally free. Claim yours right now at appliedconnective.com.
Muchachos has been serving Lincoln delicious pork, brisket, and chicken tacos for several years now, as well as Hatch Mac, nachos, and more. Muchachos also brings you close to the taste buds of your favorite local college athletes with NIL deals like the B3 burrito for Bella Bacon of Nebraska softball and many more. See a variety of different NIL options at Muchachos at 11th and K or order online at yomuchacho.com. Open 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. Tuesday through Saturday.
Live from the heart of Lincoln, America, welcome to Ticket Weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hour 2 here for the Ticket Weeknights. Getting later into the night, 9 p.m. now, as we are delving into some college football 26. Jeffrey Calhoun and Austin Foreman here. Talked a little bit about some surprise ratings. And now I think we should take a look at a little closer to home and take a look at some of these Big Ten teams and where they rank in college football 26. Starting off, last place team, worst rating. Austin, you have any guess of who it's going to be?
My guess is it's going to be in the MAC.
Oh, I was talking about last place in the Big Ten.
Big Ten. Oh, sorry. Yeah, Big Ten. I'm in the Northwestern Purdue headspace. I'll say Purdue.
You are correct. It is Purdue. Also, I will say with your guess about lowest overall, it is both MAC teams. 2 at 68. Kent State, who finished a resounding 0-12 last year.
Disrespect.
And Ball State, who is not that good. But yes, both those teams 68 overall. But yeah, Purdue, a Power 5 team, or I guess Power 4 technically. Rest in peace, Pac-12. Sitting at 74, 6 points higher than the lowest rating. Purdue, not only just the lowest rated Big Ten team, but tied for the lowest rated power team with Oklahoma State, a team that usually has a lot of success, but wheels fell off last year, finishing 3-9, didn't get a single conference win. Purdue last year, went 1-11. Only win was against Indiana State. Not
fired their coach after the year.
Yeah, who was, I believe, in his first year.
Second year.
Okay, yes. It was the second year. But not a good showing from them. I will say one thing. One of the funniest pieces of college football trivia that I have. I don't know why I know this, but last season Purdue was actually the last FBS team to allow anyone to score on them because they blew out Indiana State 49-0 in week 1, and then week 2 had a bye week, and then week 3 had Notre Dame, and then they lost by 60. So they definitely let some points score on them in week 3. But yeah, Purdue, lowest rated team. I don't think there's much of an argument there. Barry Odom coming in from UNLV. As a Mizzou fan, as a Mizzou student, not a huge Barry Odom guy personally, but
was Barry that bad at Missouri?
As a coach, no. As a following the NCAA's rules, yeah, kind of. We got bowl banned in 2018.
Well, I feel like that Missouri 2018 bowl ban was more for stuff that other people did. Now, don't get me wrong. Fair. It happened, right? But I feel like Missouri in that bowl ban was one that probably should have been given to a different program, but they had to make an example out of someone. So they chose Missouri.
I think that's fair. I also think it's, especially with Eli Drinkowitz the last couple of years, going 21-5 and only losing one game at home the last 2 seasons, with the only loss coming to the Heisman Trophy winner. I think that shows, we can actually do some stuff. We can actually be good at football and not, get Kelly Bryant from Missouri or get Kelly Bryant from Clemson and still be bad and lose to Wyoming. So, still not a big Barry Odom guy, but yeah, I'm not surprised that Purdue is in this bottom spot at 74. Then coming up after them, we got Maryland at 77. Couple teams surrounding them to give kind of a litmus test. Liberty, Syracuse, UNLV, Washington State, kind of in that range.
Liberty losing its quarterback probably bumps it down a little bit. Yeah. UTSA has been fun, but I think their quarterback graduated last year, a couple of years ago.
I mean, he's been there forever.
Washington State lost its coach, brought in the guy from South Dakota State. So, interesting company from Maryland. Okay.
Yeah. Syracuse, I feel like, is way too low. I understand they lose some players, but this was a 10-win team in their first season.
Yeah.
Ruined the season for Miami. I understand they lose Kyle McCord, but 77 seems really low. But Maryland, I don't mind Maryland here. I feel like Maryland's got a lot of questions, is the thing.
Is Maryland going to Maryland is really the question,
Yeah.
right? They'll be fine. They won't be bad. Will they live up to what we think their talent is? Probably not. But hey, go get him, Mike Loxley.
Yeah, that's kind of where I am. I love Mike Loxley. Again, growing up in a Alabama household, seeing Loxley do his thing was a lot of fun. After that, at the 78 overall, we got a little group of Big Ten teams. One feels kind of out of place here. Yeah, UCLA, Northwestern, and then Minnesota. I don't like Minnesota here.
I think this is probably about right for Minnesota.
You think so?
Now, they very well could play their way up. I would be a little bit lower on Northwestern and a little bit higher on UCLA.
I can see that.
So I'm fine with keeping Minnesota here. I would move the other two teams.
Okay. Yeah, UCLA.
In fact, I'd probably rather have Maryland up in this range or maybe pushing 80, honestly, now that I think about it. Maybe, dump UCLA down a spot or two, UCLA up a spot, maybe. But I'm not mad at Minnesota here.
So this 78, this group of teams right here kind of seems like the teams that are like, they might be able to do something, but they're probably going to be mid. You have Oregon State, Boston College, Kansas, Toledo. Like, all these teams have potential. These are all teams that I think could be kind of I don't want to even like a playoff dark horse, but like a team that could finish with 8-9 wins, cause some issues for some teams in their conference. So that's where we see those guys. And then after them in the 80 spot, there are no teams from the Big Ten. Then jumping up to 81, there are another 3 Big Ten teams: Michigan State, Washington, and Wisconsin. 2 teams that missed a bowl game last year, 3 teams that finished with a losing record. How are we feeling here?
I think the one that I'm most intrigued by in this group is Michigan State.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're going to be with another year under Jonathan Smith. I don't know what Aiden Childs is going to be. He intrigues me. I don't know enough about them to comment fully, but I'm watching out for Michigan State. Washington just feels like it's the quarterback and everyone else at this point. Damon Williams, who flashed a little bit last year. He's got to put it together over the course of a full 12 games as the presumptive starter for the Huskies. And Wisconsin, I don't know either. It's a big year for Luke Fickell, and if this is where they end up, he's probably back. But you're talking here in this 81 range, 7-5, 8-4, probably. Now, that'd be a step in the right direction for Luke Fickell. Don't get me wrong. Would it be enough of a sign of progress for Wisconsin fans and Chris McIntyre? Wisconsin AD. I forget if it's McIntosh or McIntyre. It's one of those two. McIntosh. I was right. To keep him around. So I think all 3 of these teams have some of that chaos potential just to throw wrenches into the plans of teams in the Big Ten that'll be further above them. I like Michigan State the most, I think, of those teams. I would say Washington's the dark horse, and there's probably the most pressure on Wisconsin.
Yeah. Well, and I guess a little off topic, how hot do you think Fickell's seat is right now? Because they just came off their worst season in a long time.
Well, I mean, it hasn't been inspiring for either of his 2 years in Madison. And I think part of that is because Wisconsin, number 1, got away from its identity, and number 2, got away from its identity without really a plan. If you could see that Luke Fickell was building to something, you'd say, okay, we can talk ourselves into it. You could also, look just down the road, right? Luke Fickell, Matt Rule hired in the same offseason. Fickell went 6-6 his first year and then 5-7 his second. Nebraska, to its credit, picked up that one extra win and did that in reverse. And we still don't know exactly what it is Nebraska wants. We know what Nebraska says it wants to do, but we still don't know what Nebraska is about necessarily. I wouldn't have Luke Fickell's seat as hot. I don't understand giving coaches 3 years or else, but the number of coaches that have proven it can be done in 3 years and just the nature of college football playoff access, how important it is. It wouldn't shock me if this is another, 7-5 season. Let me pull up their schedule really quick. If it's 7-5 and they obviously go on the road to lose to Alabama, probably play Michigan tough-ish and lose that one. Iowa game mid-season is going to be pretty big for them. That's game 6. They're halfway through. I mean, they go to Alabama, they go to Michigan, They host Ohio State. They go to Oregon. None of that's easy. I think Washington and Wisconsin is going to be a coin flip. Lean Badgers in Camp Randall. Wisconsin, Illinois, probably a coin flip. I trust Wisconsin, the brand, more than Indiana, but Indiana was clearly better last year.
Right.
And it's in Bloomington. Illinois is better than Wisconsin. I think going into this year, it's hard to argue otherwise. So right now, even at home, I think that's a tight game, but I probably lean Illinois. And then the Minnesota game. So I think there's, 4 games you feel pretty confident about the Badgers losing from this side of things. 2 pretty key rivalry games, one at home, one on the road. You split those, you're already 7-5. That's before you talk about Illinois as well. So, I mean, if Wisconsin goes 8-4 this year, good on Luke Fickell. I don't think it's in the cards for him, but I think there'd be enough signs of progress that he sticks around. Anything less than that, I think it's a little dicey.
Well, I mean, that's the thing is, honestly, I mean, I look at this Wisconsin schedule, and every Big Ten team except Maryland and maybe Washington, if you looked at me and said, this team is going to win 9 games, I wouldn't say you're crazy. And then you get in the non-conference schedule, Alabama is Alabama. And I'm just going to say it, Miami, Ohio isn't exactly a slouch of a group of 5 team either. Like, this is a team that went to their conference championship. Like, I'm not saying that, Wisconsin's going to lose. I'm just saying, they're not playing Kennesaw State or Delaware. Like, this is a solid group of 5 team who could cause some issues. So, yeah, this schedule is pretty hard. And yeah, Wisconsin, I think they have potential, but I'm a little nervous about them.
I think Luke Fickell's a little nervous about them as well. So
and I think
that one.
The reason I asked about how hot his seat is also because I feel like Wisconsin has a tendency to be a little trigger happy with firing their coaches. When they fired Paul Chryst a couple years ago, I thought that was too early of a firing.
The Paul Chryst firing was the Tom Thibodeau firing.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways. Mm-hmm. It was hard to understand at first. It didn't make a lot of sense. But then if you start thinking bigger picture, I respect Wisconsin for making the move that Iowa's never had the stones to make.
I think
I'm not saying Iowa is right or wrong for keeping Kirk Ferentz. I mean, he's their guy, to be completely fair and completely honest, right? It's hard for me to say fire Kirk Ferentz, and they shouldn't. But Iowa hasn't been creative enough to try to come up with a soft exit plan for Kirk Ferentz. Hey, Kirk, here's where you exit stage right. And I don't think that Iowa's floor is as low as it was, when Nebraska first joined the Big Ten. Kirk Ferentz has done a good job of, despite being entirely anachronistic, of finding ways to make it work. But I also think that this is Iowa telling you that, number one, yes, their identity, it's who they are. They're comfortable in it. They're confident in it. When it's their year, great, they'll take their chances. If not, well, you know what? We went down swinging the way we want to. Wisconsin, I think, envisioned a higher ceiling for itself. It was a higher risk, potentially higher reward move. They have a college football playoff appearing coach. Iowa doesn't.
Right.
I just don't think that Luke Fickell's implemented what he's wanted, how he's wanted yet so far. So I don't think that the move was 100% wrong for Wisconsin. I just think clearly the results haven't been what they planned.
Oh, yeah, I think that's totally fair. I mean, and I think you're right about them, like, going away from their identity without a plan. I don't argue that Wisconsin going away from their identity is a bad idea, because I think Wisconsin's identity has been really outdated for a long time. But again, I mean, they do it without a plan, and you go 5-7, and you snap one of the longest active bowl appearance streaks in college football. So I think that's a problem. But then you jump up one rating spot and you get a whole family of Big Ten teams. One of these I feel like kind of doesn't match the others, but we'll see. We'll see what you think. So you have Illinois, Iowa, your very own Nebraska Cornhuskers, USC, and then Rutgers. So 5 Big Ten teams on an even line. I guess just give me your overall thoughts about these 5 teams being rated evenly.
Probably a little disrespectful to Illinois, but right where Bielema wants it. Probably about right for Iowa. USC is such a wild card. Don't really know what to make of them. They lost some talent. Big year for Lincoln. I think it's a bigger year for Lincoln Riley than it is Luke Fickell, to be completely honest.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
Probably a little higher than I would have had Nebraska. I would have had them probably down in that Michigan State, Wisconsin, Washington range. Maybe put them as the one Big Ten team there, the 80s overall, potentially. And Rutgers, neither Jay Foreman or I believe in. He and I both talked about that a little bit. Now, I am not in the doubting Greg Schiano business, but I think that's a little aggressive for Rutgers. I think it's a little aggressive for Vandy. I think it's a little disrespectful to Iowa State and Kansas State with everything that they've accomplished as well. So I would move Illinois up. I would move, and maybe Iowa bump up one, but I think they're probably fine here. USC, Nebraska, you can talk me into, and if I'm not sold, in Rutgers, you got to go.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. I like where Iowa is. Nebraska, I could see dropping down to 81. But year 3 Matt Rule pattern says, year 1 you're terrible at football. Year 2 you're barely above 500. Year 3 you make a conference championship and get double-digit wins. So I'm not mad about that. Illinois is too low. I put them in 84. There's no Big Ten teams in that 84 spot, but it's Auburn, who I don't want to talk about why they're in 84. That's a terrible rating.
A little high.
Yeah. Duke, who was fine. I know you're a Duke fan. I think it's a little high, but I like Duke.
Darian Mensah, baby.
They've been
Manny
sneaky
Diaz
good
is back. He wasn't that bad at Miami. Don't let people convince you otherwise.
Well, I don't think he's that much worse than Cristobal, but that's a whole nother discussion. SMU, fine there. Tennessee and Mizzou. I feel like Illinois would fit into this camp very well at 84.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm maybe a little lower on SMU. I think this is actually them getting a little bit of their respect from their college football playoff run last year. I still think Tennessee's plenty talented. I might move them up a spot or two. Yeah. But then when we go back to what you were saying about no teams in the 90s, you got to keep that in mind too, because these aren't necessarily ratings out of one. Well, they should be ratings out of 100, right? 99 overall, whatever it is you want to say. But really the curve that we're grading against here is out of 90, because that's the mark that none of these teams have reached yet. Maybe they will in future updates. We'll see. But if you're telling me no team has broken 90 for the 26th season, yeah, I can live with this grouping for Tennessee and Missouri probably.
Yeah, that's fair. And then going back here. Okay, here's my thing about the 82 overall ranking. I kind of feel like these 17 teams, because there's a lot of them, is just kind of the teams that they were kind of like, we really don't know how these teams are going to be. Because the whole extensive list of the 82 overalls is Baylor, Boise State, Colorado, Florida State, Illinois, Iowa State, Kansas State, Louisville, Nebraska, Rutgers, South Carolina, USC, Utah, Vanderbilt. Iowa State, I don't feel like belongs here. They were 11-2 or 11-3, beat Miami, made the Big 12 championship game. Like, this is a good team. I don't think they should be here. Kansas State is almost, I feel like, a great value Iowa State the last couple years.
And they've both appeared in the conference championship game the last handful of years. So they're the same program in different cities.
I think that's fair. You know what? Yeah, that's more fair. But these other teams, it's kind of like, we really don't know what's going to happen. Colorado was 9-4 last year, but they lose two of their, I guess their two best players of all time because they retired their jerseys. Boise State, one of the best group of 5 teams, but they lose the guy who should have won the Heisman. Baylor was a very sneaky good team. South Carolina is South Carolina. I digress. Rutgers, I agree with you. I think Rutgers is too high. Rutgers is just the last few years under Schiano. It's you win the games you're supposed to, you lose the games you're supposed to, you finish about 500.
Yeah, 82 is funky. But again, keeping in mind that it's out of 90, these are teams that are probably saying, according to this, that being in the top 25 is a good year for them.
Yeah.
At the end of the year. I haven't done the exact math. I can do it here quick. 5, 10, 15, 22, 23. So yeah, these are teams that are fighting for that, top 30-ish position, I think. So yeah, you can talk me into any of these teams being in the top 25 or out of the top 25 at the end of the year. Utah really fascinates me with Kyle Whittingham, who's not necessarily going anywhere, but how much tread is left on those tires. And Vandy's been in the headlines a lot for a baseball school, because I don't quite understand. Good on Diego Pavia. Had a game against Bama. Good on him for it. But I would also maybe make Vandy prove it a little more before I put him up there.
I think that's totally fair. And Utah every year, I swear, it is the same headline the last 5 years with Utah. It's, oh my gosh, Utah has all these good players. We're going to finish with 11 wins. Oh my gosh, everybody's injured. And then you finish like 4 games worse than you're supposed to because everyone's injured. And then it's offseason. Oh, once we're healthy, we're going to be good. And the same thing happens.
Mm-hmm.
It's what happened last year. It's what always happens. So, I can see it. USC, I agree with being a wild card here. They're going to be interesting as well. Moving up, as we talked about, no teams in the 84 overall spot for the Big Ten. Moving into 85, I noted this earlier, Michigan and Indiana, both in that 85 slot. I don't know. I mean, I guess my thing is, Indiana, did finish 11-2 last year, but there were all these people who were like, oh, they don't deserve the playoff, whatever, which, by the way, Indiana fans didn't care. They had never had a 10-win season. Like, this team was, these Indiana fans were on the ground begging to make a bowl game, and they made it to the playoffs. So,
how many returning quarterbacks are in this group?
I don't think it's Sam Leavitt.
One.
That's it. Yeah.
One. I would say that, I think I alluded to this before, I would bump Oklahoma down a little bit.
Yeah.
Michigan, I'm not completely sold on with the freshman quarterback. I like Mendoza at Indiana. We'll have to see how he acclimates and if there's enough magic or consistency left in the tank for Kurt Cignetti here in year 2. And then Ole Miss has just bit my predictions in the butt for the last few years. Plus Jackson Dart is gone. I think there's a lot on Ole Miss's plate right now that this feels about right for them, but they're either going to end up a couple spots higher or at the bottom might fall out with the new quarterback.
Yeah. Harrison and I on last week, he was, reading off an article about college football playoff dark horses. And the 4 teams we discussed were Clemson, Michigan, Ole Miss, and LSU. And one thing I talked about with Ole Miss, because we were talking about, do these teams, are they dark horses? Like, how do we really feel? And the thing with Ole Miss for me is I can't think of a single ugly win that Ole Miss has had. I feel like it's either these flashy wins or when the pressure gets put on, they kind of crumple. There's not these wins where the stats are bad, but they kind of push out a win. And I think that's what separates, the good teams from the greats. And I compared it to Michigan.
They didn't exactly blow the doors off of Mississippi State in the Egg Bowl last year.
I think, what?
Oklahoma 26-14, and that was a pretty mid Oklahoma team.
Yeah.
But I get what you're saying in terms of the kind of the narrative and the vibe around them, right? Is that they have to win pretty. If they're not winning in a blowout, oh, they're soft, oh, they're pushovers, oh, they're more speed than power. So I think Ole Miss kind of accidentally wins some closer games than you would. But then to your point, the shortcomings against Kentucky,
that was bad.
And that loss was not great. Turnaround and good for them. They win a top 15 matchup against South Carolina pretty convincingly. Again, late game missteps against LSU end up costing them. They do enough against Oklahoma. Good start against Georgia. They pull it out. Florida, again, 6-6, unranked team. Didn't exactly look great there. And then they do bounce back on a short week, right? That's a Friday game last year, Mississippi State and Ole Miss. So you credit them for winning a couple of those close games, but there's no reason that Kentucky team should have been in that game with them. LSU, okay, fine, whatever. And that was part of Florida's resurgence. So maybe they just caught Florida at the wrong time. But it's not a thing fully for me with Ole Miss about close games, but it's worth monitoring, I would say.
Yeah. But like with Michigan, I think the thing that I like about them is, especially towards the end of the year, they were able to win ugly. Like, I mean, that Ohio State win, obviously a huge win. Like, if the narrative wasn't there, it was a terrible football game. Like, it was one of the most fun games I've ever watched, hating Ohio State as much as I do. And again, watching a 6-5 Michigan team, go in and beat, the eventual national champion. But like 13-10, there were so many turnovers. That was not a pretty game, and they still won it.
Yeah.
And I think that coupled with the Alabama game and then getting Bryce Underwood, I think that's why they're this high. So I like the spot where Michigan is. Indiana, I also like too. I think there's just some question marks there. So we are past that 20 mark. We'll go to a quick break. Look at the last 3 teams in the Big Ten, and then we're going to break down Nebraska even more so. Look at some of their players, where they're rated, and how they match up against the rest of their schedule. Don't go anywhere, folks. You are listening to the Ticket Weeknights with Jeffrey Calhoun and Austin Orman.
Hope is only a conversation away when you choose to share your talent, time, and heart with a child. Together, you can build a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future, 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
At Valentino's, we're on a mission for tradition. On every slice, for every bite. Golden baked crust, cooked to perfection every time. Savory sweet sauce that's made from our own secret recipe. Loaded with the perfect amount of fresh toppings and melty mozzarella cheese. It's the tradition that Nebraskans have come to love. From game day to every day. Valentino's. Taste the tradition.
With UBT, you've got total control over your money. Like Doug, who runs his game day tailgate like a well-oiled machine.
I got burgers, brats, chicken, dogs, plus all the fixins. And with the UBT Go app, I can track my food spending from anywhere.
Pro move.
They don't call me Grill Sergeant for nothing.
No matter your goals, UBT helps you feel good about reaching them. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits is your place in North Lincoln to go for all your needs in wine, spirits, and beer. They also have a large variety of cigars in their walk-in humidor, and they have a top-notch walk-in temperature-controlled high-end wine room. Plus, you can enjoy free samples from their tasting bar. There's only one place to go for all your needs for spirits and cigars. That's Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits on North 27th Street in Lincoln.
Life changes, and sometimes that means changing where you call home. Whether you're downsizing, growing your family, relocating, or facing tough times, you shouldn't navigate it alone. I'm Laura Bonta-Bush with Woods Rose Realty, and I'm here to guide you with all your real estate needs. As wife of football coach Bill Bush, I understand the importance of teamwork and making sure you are supported every step of the way with honesty, integrity, and compassion. If you're looking for a game plan to buy or sell your home, text the word HOME to 402-534-1919. That's HOME to 402-534-1919.
Staying healthy and comfortable starts with the air you breathe. If you're noticing more dust, odors, or allergies, it could be time for duct cleaning from Bryant. Pure Air starts with cleaner air ducts, hair with enhanced filtration and purifications options, and the difference is amazing. When the air you breathe is clean and fresh, your home smells fresher and your family is healthier. Time for cleaner air in your home? Call Bryant for a free estimate. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. 467-1111. Bryant, whatever it takes.
Lincoln's new craft cocktail lounge is Bar 48 in Lincoln. Located at 2639 North 48th Street, Bar 48 offers everything from cocktails to beer to wine and so much more. With summer right around the corner, you can always enjoy Bar 48's frozen beverages. Follow them on Facebook to stay up to date on their live music performances every Saturday night. Make plans to visit Bar 48 on North 48th Street in the heart of the University Place neighborhood today.
A1 Automotive's second location is now open at 5110 State Hill Drive, just off of Yankee Hill Road. The new location continues to specialize in all makes and models and provides personalized service as they have for 15 years. To honor the new store opening, A1 is offering $25 off any service over $300, $50 off services over $500, and $75 off services that total over $750, all through July 31st. Schedule your appointment today at a1autolincoln.com and visit their new location in South Lincoln at 5110 State Hill Drive.
Step into healing at Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery. Our team of top-notch medical professionals turns pain into progress with state-of-the-art treatments and compassionate care. Visit prairieortho.com and discover the difference in quality orthopedic and plastic surgery services tailored to your unique needs. Your health matters, and Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery is dedicated to helping you thrive. Reach your full potential. Embrace a better tomorrow with Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery.
Is it time to replace your home comfort system? Call Bryant and save money in every way. Bryant provides you with solutions that save. Save big immediately with attractive rebates, and save every day with lower operating costs. Most important, though, the systems are selected to fit you. The right system, priced right, properly installed. That's the way Bryant works for you. How much can you save? Call Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing for a free estimate. 467-1111. Bryant, whatever it takes.
The weekend is here and you and the boys need a place to hang out after your day on the golf course. Lucky for you, that place exists at Liquid Assets Sports Bar and Grill in South Lincoln. The 19th hole at the course is great, but it doesn't have 30 TVs showing all sports with 23 beers on tap. You can enjoy all of that at Liquid Assets, as well as delicious smash burgers, wings, and much more. Don't end your hangout after the golf round ends. Get to Liquid Assets Sports Bar and Grill at 2755 Jamie Lane.
Back to the Ticket Weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Boom! Adam Karakanoid. Once again, we got 3 more teams to look at that are the highest rated teams in the Big Ten before we take a look at Nebraska. And we are in the 86 overall range. Talked about this a little bit before. Oregon, you think this is a good spot for the Ducks?
Oregon is a team that intrigues me. I think that Dante Moore is a good quarterback. Curious to see how he looks in his second extended action in college. Fine with them here. They'll be good. That's a deep roster. I like the Mekhi Hughes addition from Tulane. Again, I don't know if I would move Oregon up or down. I think this is probably right for them, but there are a couple of questionable inclusions as far as I'm concerned here.
Yeah, I think that's my thing is all things being equal, I don't mind Oregon being at 86. You look at the other teams that are 86, and I scratch my head because the other ones there are Florida, Miami, LSU, and Texas Tech, which it's kind of like, I don't know, this feels weird. LSU, I talked about with Harrison, is a team that super talented, but also like they had the Heisman winning quarterback a couple years ago and the rookie of the year in the NFL, and they went to the ReliaQuest Bowl. So I don't really trust it until I see results on the field. Miami always seems to Miami. Florida was so weird last year. And then Texas Tech, I feel like is a team with a ton of question marks who also loses their quarterback.
Thing about Texas Tech is they reloaded. They rebuilt. That is probably the number one portal class by a lot of ranking services because of all the money that they splashed around.
Fair.
Big year for Joey McGuire down there. I think DJ Lagway is no, I'm a Nussmeier guy. Nussmeier's the best quarterback, I think, in this group from LSU.
Yeah.
Lagway might be able to pass him. I got to see a little bit more from him. I'm not a Carson Beck guy.
No, I'm not either.
I think that Georgia let him down more than he let Georgia down last year for the most part. But I've just never really been sold on Carson Beck as the dude necessarily. So I think that Miami does still make sense here. I think they bring enough back. And I don't think the ACC is that great still. I think it's probably Clemson's conference. I know we've talked about them a little bit already. And then I think the ACC might get the Clemson-Miami matchup that it wants. Maybe Duke will have something to say about it. Maybe Hoodie pops up at Carolina. I don't know. But it feels a little rich. But again, when the highest rated team is an 89, you're telling me, number one, these teams might actually be an 86 in a normal year, except that you're telling me that they're like the second highest grouping of teams. Not necessarily where I would put some of them.
And that's the thing is I think Florida's going to be good, but like you're going to tell me they're going to push top 10? Like because that's the thing is like according to these rankings, this group of 5 teams is going to be ranked 9 through 13.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know if I believe that. Like, Texas Tech, if they catch lightning in a bottle, Oregon, I would say, yeah. And that's why I don't mind them here. But these other 3, I'm like, I don't really know. So yeah, I don't know I like where Oregon is. I don't like the rest of the teams around them. And then the tie for the number 1 team in the Big Ten at 88 overall, Ohio State and Penn State. I think they're both solid here. I think Ohio State's got some question marks. They have the best wide receiver in the country, arguably the best player in the country in Jeremiah Smith.
Are you that much higher on Jeremiah Smith than Ryan Williams?
As a Bama fan, yeah. Honestly, I think Ryan Williams has potential. I really think he does.
I think you're hating on your own guy. I think be grateful for what you have. I think Ryan Williams is a stud.
I think Ryan Williams is probably the second best wide receiver in college football, but I think Jeremiah Smith is another level. Honestly, you look at the stats, outside of that Georgia game, Ryan Williams was held down pretty well. Now, granted, you could argue that's because he is Ryan Williams, but it's also like, and granted, they were learning a new system, but I think Jeremiah Smith in what he has learned and the system that he's in at Ohio State is much better than what Alabama has right now. I love Ryan Williams. And I think that he could be better than Jeremiah Smith. But right now, I'm taking Smith.
Fair enough. So Ryan Williams last year, 139, 68, 78, 177, 82. Only 32 against South Carolina, 73, 53 against Mizzou, 29, 36, 37, 53, and 8. So he got held down later in the year, which is not exactly what you're going for. But, I mean, he was a return guy, too. Yeah, I mean, he had not much, I guess. Why do I remember him returning a lot? He was the punt return guy primarily for them.
Yeah.
But for some reason, I had it in my head that he did more returning for them last year and had some electric moments. But I was misguided on that. But no, I think Ryan Williams is an absolute stud. And that's not a disrespect or not trying to not credit Jeremiah Smith by any stretch of the imagination. I'm just saying I think it's going to be pretty close this year between those two.
I think part of it too is just like his average receptions, or like, I'm sorry, his yards per reception is really high, but they just they don't throw the ball to him. And granted, maybe that's just because he's getting guarded a lot, but he only had one game this year with more than 6 receptions, and that was against Tennessee. And I mean, they're not. I feel like he's underutilized is the problem. I mean, let's just, out of curiosity's sake, I'm gonna pull up Jeremiah Smith's stats from last year. Receiving stats. I mean, he was targeted. I feel like I remember him being targeted a lot more. And I think he also had some solid rushing stats, but
Jeremiah Smith did not have rushing stats.
Okay, me when I lie.
He had 76 catches for about 1,300 yards. Ryan Williams on the flip side, 48 for 865.
Yeah, so I feel like but that's the thing is Jeremiah Smith is being targeted much more. And that Oregon game, 7 receptions for 187 yards. Tennessee game, 6 receptions for 103 yards. I think that they're utilizing him a lot more. And I think that is a huge, huge help. I think Ryan Williams is the second best player. I think if he was in Jeremiah Smith's shoes, he could be the best receiver. But it's also a product of their environment. I think that's what I'm ultimately getting at. So
fair enough.
But yeah, back to the ratings. Ohio State, Penn State, 1-2, or I guess 1-1 at 88 overall. I like it. But I feel like Ohio State is just a smidge better than Penn State because I feel like every year Penn State's and they lose to Ohio State.
They do. That's kind of their MO at this point. I feel somewhat sacrilegious to say, but if you're just looking on paper, I like Penn State more.
Yeah.
Returning quarterback, trust the offensive line maybe a little bit more for them. Still, I know they lose some stuff on defense, but you return 2 running backs as well. They can't possibly be as bad at receiver, as they were last year.
Part.
So I can't in good conscience go with Penn State because they're still Penn State, and I understand that. The benefit of the doubt goes to Ohio State every day of the week and twice on Sundays. Mm-hmm. But man, I think Penn State and I think Clemson are in a couple of very similar boats right now. I don't know how much I would predict them to make a deep playoff run just with the volatility of it all. But on paper, I like those 2 rosters.
Yeah. And I mean, Penn State, this team still was 13-3 and was a field goal away from making the national championship.
Mm-hmm.
They made it to the Big Ten championship. And I mean, their only losses were Oregon, Ohio State, and Notre Dame. So your losses are the national champion, the national runner-up, and the number 1 team in the country going into the playoffs. But it's just they're kind of college football's almost team right now. So yeah, I like them here, and I think these are the best 2 teams in the Big Ten going into this upcoming season. So when we come back, we will take a few minutes and look really deep at Nebraska, some of their top players, how they match up against the rest of their schedule for the final segment of Ticket Weeknights here on 93.7, the Ticket FM. Ticket Weeknights with Jeffrey Calhoun and Austin Orman.
Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program. Hope is only a conversation away when you choose to share your talent, time, and heart with a child. Together, you can build a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future, 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
At Valentino's, we're on a mission for tradition. On every slice, for every bite. Golden baked crust, cooked to perfection every time. Savory sweet sauce that's made from our own secret recipe. Loaded with the perfect amount of fresh toppings and melty mozzarella cheese. It's the tradition that Nebraskans have come to love. From game day to every day. Valentino's. Taste the tradition.
With UBT, you've got total control over your money. Like Doug, who runs his game day tailgate like a well-oiled machine.
I got burgers, brats, chicken, dogs, plus all the fixins. And with the UBT Go app, I can track my food spending from anywhere.
Pro move.
They don't call me Grill Sergeant for nothing.
No matter your goals, UBT helps you feel good about reaching them. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits is your place in North Lincoln to go for all your needs in wine, spirits, and beer. They also have a large variety of cigars in their walk-in humidor, and they have a top-notch walk-in temperature-controlled high-end wine room. Plus, you can enjoy free samples from their tasting bar. There's only one place to go for all your needs for spirits and cigars. That's Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits on North 27th Street in Lincoln.
Life changes, and sometimes that means changing where you call home. Whether you're downsizing, growing your family, relocating, or facing tough times, you shouldn't navigate it alone. I'm Laura Bonta-Bush with Woods Rose Realty, and I'm here to guide you with all your real estate needs. As wife of football coach Bill Bush, I understand the importance of teamwork and making sure you are supported every step of the way with honesty, integrity, and compassion. If you're looking for a game plan to buy or sell your home, text the word HOME to 402-534-1919. That's HOME to 402-534-1919.
Staying healthy and comfortable starts with the air you breathe. If you're noticing more dust, odors, or allergies, it could be time for duct cleaning from Bryant. Pure Air starts with cleaner air ducts, pair with enhanced filtration and purifications options, and the difference is amazing. When the air you breathe is clean and fresh, your home smells fresher and your family is healthier. Time for cleaner air in your home? Call Bryant for a free estimate. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. 467-1111. Bryant, whatever it takes.
Lincoln's new craft cocktail lounge is Bar 48 in Lincoln. Located at 2639 North 48th Street, Bar 48 offers everything from cocktails to beer to wine and so much more. With summer right around the corner, you can always enjoy Bar 48's frozen beverages. Follow them on Facebook to stay up to date on their live music performances every Saturday night. Make plans to visit Bar 48 on North 48th Street in the heart of the University Place neighborhood today.
A1 Automotive's second location is now open at 5110 State Hill Drive, just off of Yankee Hill Road. The new location continues to specialize in all makes and models and provides personalized service as they have for 15 years. To honor the new store opening, A1 is offering $25 off any service over $300, $50 off services over $500, and $75 off services that total over $750, all through July 31st. Schedule your appointment today at a1autolincoln.com and visit their new location in South Lincoln at 5110 State Hill Drive.
Step into healing at Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery. Our team of top-notch medical professionals turns pain into progress with state-of-the-art treatments and compassionate care. Visit prairieortho.com and discover the difference in quality orthopedic and plastic surgery services tailored to your unique needs. Your health matters, and Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery is dedicated to helping you thrive. Reach your full potential. Embrace a better tomorrow with Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery.
Is it time to replace your home comfort system? Call Bryant and save money in every way. Bryant provides you with solutions that save. Save big immediately with attractive rebates, and save every day with lower operating costs. Most important, though, the systems are selected to fit you. The right system, priced right, properly installed. That's the way Bryant works for you. How much can you save? Call Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing for a free estimate. 467-1111. Bryant, whatever it takes.
The weekend is here, and you and the boys need a place to hang out after your day on the golf course. Lucky for you, that place exists at Liquid Assets Sports Bar and Grill in South Lincoln. The 19th hole at the course is great, but it doesn't have 30 TVs showing all sports with 23 beers on tap. You can enjoy all of that at Liquid Assets, as well as delicious smash burgers, wings, and much more. Don't end your hangout after the golf round ends. Get to Liquid Assets Sports Bar and Grill at 2755 Jamie Lane.
Back to the Ticket Weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
And we are back for one last segment of Ticket Weeknights. About 10 minutes left here. And I think, right way to end this is to talk about our hometown team, Nebraska Cornhuskers, as we talked about coming in at an 82 overall. And look at their schedule with how they match up and how College Football 26 thinks that the Huskers are going to do. Austin, they have 8 teams that they are ranked higher than, 2 that they are ranked lower than, and then 2 that they are ranked equally to. So break it down. College Football 26 thinks the Huskers are going to go 9-3 with losses to Michigan, Penn State, and you break it down even more into offense, defensive tiebreakers, probably a win against Iowa and a loss against USC. What are your thoughts on that front there?
I think 9-3 would be a good step in the right direction. I don't know if that would be the year 3 Matt Rule that everyone was hoping for and waiting on, right? Because Matt Rule plays for conference championships in year 3, and I don't think that 9-3 would get Nebraska there. I mean, from 1-11 at Baylor to 11-3 in year 3. At Temple, it was from 2-10 to 10-4, then another 10-3 year right after that. So I think it's a little bullish on the Huskers for now. I think the Huskers could get there if everything breaks their way, if things change. But I would have had Nebraska closer to that 79-80 range off the last decade, really. Right. So I get it. I guess I see what they're going for based on some of the ratings I'm sure you're going to get into here in just a second. But if Nebraska's best players are the ones that EA Sports has as the highest rated, I'm not 100% sure this season goes in 9-3.
Yeah. So if you put the Huskers at that 79-80 range, like you had said, they'd finish 6-6 according to College Football 26. Losses to Michigan, Penn State, USC, and Iowa, as I said, and then Cincinnati is rated 80, which feels high, but that would knock them down to them. And then Michigan State as well, who, as we talked about, is 81. So, again, I think you're right. Seems a little bit bullish here. Yeah, I mean, I think and then you break it down more. Huskers are ranked 85 offensively, 82 defensively. Kind of what are your thoughts there?
Probably would have flipped those.
Yeah.
In my head, I think that there's probably some more splash in names on the offense this year than there were last year, but that offense had such a low bar to clear just to get to competence. So I think if Nebraska ends up at an 85 at both, it would be a big step forward for the offense and probably the normal, understandable regression back to what I think the defense will be this year, right? I know that, Husker fans love run the ball. They love defense and whatnot. I don't think that's what Nebraska's in for. I don't think Dana Holgorsen is completely allergic to running the ball, and I don't think that John Butler is going to be a train wreck as defensive coordinator. But it's a team that's going to need the offense, I think, to step up, to cover for the defense in ways that it maybe hasn't before. And maybe that's a bridge too far, because I think that this is an offense that the next step for is just get back to baseline competent for multiple drives in a row or even in the same game. So asking them to take that step, and then the step to, hey, this is a new, defensive coordinator calling plays in college for the first time in a while. Slightly new system, terminology tweaks to the system, whatever it is John Butler's done or not done. A lot of new faces stepping up into a lot of new positions. I don't know if I'm ready to say that this Nebraska offense is ready to step into that void and win some games in the mid-30s for Nebraska. Certainly not a game that gets into the 40s, I don't think, unless they catch their lightning in a bottle that game. Right. Maybe by the end of the year, but early on, I still think the defense is going to have to come out strong, right? Then the offense is really going to have to pick it up once they get into conference play.
Yeah, I mean, I totally agree. And again, like you look at some of the teams that they have to play, and I think leaning on the defense is the right idea. I mean, I think if they play solid defensive ball, They win a lot of their games if their defense is better than their offense. I mean, I don't see any team on this schedule that is making me go, wow, this is going to be an, S tier offense of college football, honestly. I mean, the best offense they're probably going to face is probably Penn State. I mean, maybe.
It depends. Well, Michigan could give them problems depending on how the defense is looking in the fourth game. I could see USC giving Nebraska some fits just based on speed, despite some losses in the transfer portal.
Right.
UCLA gave Nebraska more fits than I would have thought last year for stretches. Penn State is clearly the best offense on this list.
Right. And that's listen, that's an automatic loss. Respectfully to Nebraska, it's senior day in Happy Valley, and Penn State is going to be a national championship contender. That's a tough game. And Michigan, I get what you're saying. I think for me, it's more of the fact of when they play Michigan. It's Michigan's first conference game. And
Nebraska's first conference game too.
I agree, but it's not an disagree. It's a fact. But I don't know. I feel like there's more question marks with Michigan in who's going to go where, what each player is going to look like. I think Nebraska right now has more of an identity. If Michigan was at the end of the season, I'd be more concerned, frankly.
Yeah, probably fair. Really curious to see if Nebraska uses the bulletin board material of Sharon Moore didn't want to coach this game. How that plays into effect. I'm really curious to see the Bryce Underwood factor. I think the kid's good. I don't know if he's that good quite yet. Maybe he gets there by the end of the year. Maybe Michigan finds its identity and starts gelling like it did toward the end of last season as well. Maybe I'm just underrating Michigan and the level of talent they have on their team and the degree to which the cupboard is stocked for them. They'll be good. I just worry we're putting a little bit too much stock into what they did at the end of last year.
I think that's fair. I think that's totally fair. So before we wrap up, there was one other thing I wanted to talk to you about. So from what I'm seeing, we have pretty much full player rankings for the Huskers. Their best two players are rated 88 overall. One offense, one defense.
But Dane Key and Deshaun Marquise Buford?
No, Dane Key. I'm surprised you got that one. Dane Key is one of them.
Sierra Wright?
Yep.
Yeah,
Sierra Wright.
Sierra Wright. Yep.
I'm impressed with how quickly you got those. I'm not going to lie. Sierra Wright doesn't.
I may not have seen that before.
Austin, come on.
Hate to give away the state secrets, but I actually do my research. Sorry.
Sierra Wright doesn't surprise me. Dane Key being higher than Emmett Johnson and Dylan Raiola, that surprised me a little bit. And I want your opinion on that.
I disagree. Dane Key's proven more in college than either of those guys.
You think so? I think it's
Dane Key has been a productive receiver in the SEC. Dylan Raiola had a mediocre freshman year by the numbers, and Emmett Johnson's never been a full-time starter. Dane Key deserves the higher ranking. Now, do I think he has the highest ceiling on the team? No. I think he's Jamal Banks 2.0 in a lot of ways. Maybe a little more explosive. We'll have to see on that. But no, I think that Dane Key is up there. Rocco Spindler, I would guess, is probably in the realm. I know he's an interior lineman. They don't get a lot of love. I would maybe put him there. Elijah Pritchett potentially in that conversation. That didn't prove much down there at Alabama. He's a guy I bet that they would be excited about. A little surprised Ja'Cory Barney Jr. wasn't a little bit higher.
I think.
But no, I mean, I think it makes perfect sense that the Dane Key is the highest rated player. It makes sense that he's the highest rated right now. But if he's the best player on Nebraska's team, it is not a 9-3 team.
So Rocco Spindler is an 83. And
okay, fine.
Where was, you said Emmett Johnson, you said might be up there?
Emmett was number 3.
Yeah, Emmett, I'm sorry, Ja'Cory Barney. He is really small text. He's also an 83.
Okay.
So
fine.
I feel like a lot of the good players for the Huskers, you're hitting that 83 to 88 mark. But yeah, I mean, that's the thing is if your best players are 83 to 88, you're not hitting 9-3 on the season. Full stop. I think we're talking realistically. I could see Nebraska going 9-3, but I don't know. Just some of the things. I think there are some question marks on this team, and I think you said a lot of what I'm thinking best. So,
and then on the defense, Sierra Wright, I think is really going to have to prove that he's more than Tommy Hill.
Yeah.
From what I've heard, there's maybe a little bit more of a competitive streak in Sierra Wright than Tommy Hill showed at times. That's it's unconfirmed, right? That just from a couple people I've talked to. But I'm mostly talking about Tommy Hill was the flash in the pan that came out of nowhere and had a good half season-ish. Same thing with Sierra Wright, who only took over due to injury. I think he's a good player. He's got to prove he can hold up that long. Who's the other corner opposite him? How does the defensive line fill in the 3-3-5? linebacker, you don't know as many of the names. You like a couple of them. You like what you think Shavers can bring to the table. Marquise Watson-Trent in that picture as well, Sunbelt Defensive Player of the Year. There's just so much unproven, so many question marks about this Nebraska defense for, a team that over the last couple of years has really been a team that's been led by defense, been led by upperclassmen. You can go through the list through the last 5 years of guys and find, there was some pretty veteran senior leadership on these teams, guys that played roles, guys that waited their turns, that really came into their own. So I still think the defense is probably the strength of this Nebraska team, even with more question marks. But if the defense is still the strength of the team at the end of the year, something either went really right defensively or really wrong for Nebraska offensively.
I think that's fair. But yeah, I like this defense a lot more. But don't worry, we will address a lot of these questions later on as the season goes on. Thank you all so much for tuning in to the Ticket Weeknights with Jeffrey Calhoun and Austin Orman. Trust, you will not be hearing the last of us. We will be back tomorrow and much later on this week. Thank you all again and have a wonderful, wonderful night.
Finally, a good reason to have a smart house. Just say, Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket, and we'll magically start playing. How's it work? Nobody knows. Don't ask questions.
I get it, slip it, cuff it, check it twice a day.
I get it, slip it, cuff it, check it in the morning and before dinner.
I get it, slip it, cuff it, check it, and share it with my doctor. Nearly 1 in 2 U.S. adults have high blood pressure. That's why it's important to self-monitor your blood pressure in 4 easy-to-remember steps. It starts with a monitor.
Now that I know my blood pressure numbers, I talked with my doctor. We're getting those numbers down.
Get it, slip it, cuff it, check it. Talk to doctor now and share it.
Be next to talk to your doctor about your blood pressure numbers. Get down with your blood pressure. Self-monitoring is power. Learn more at manageyourbp.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council, the American Heart Association, and the American Medical Association, in partnership with the Office of Minority Health and Health Resources and Services Administration.
Hi, this is Pastor Tom. Did you know there's a place kids can seek